Hi guys, and welcome back to Northern Most Mustard, and today you join me for another video, and today it's going to be about Norma again. So if you don't know, Norma is a dog we recently picked up from a rescue centre. She's 5 years old. She's down by my feet now, hence why I'm slightly distracted. So yeah, she's 5 years old. She's a rescue. She's a Cocker Spaniel called Norma. She was an ex-breeding dog. Now, you'll have seen from my last video, we collected her and we brought her home on her first night. Lenny, please behave. This video is really just to give you an update on how she's settling in, how we're finding having a rescue, how she's getting on with our dog Lenny, and just a couple of, I wouldn't say issues, but just some teething problems with her settling in. We've got a couple of other little clips I'm going to show you. We are going to go out to the dog park, and I'll discuss a little bit more about how she's been on this first week at home. So please enjoy the video. Please like, comments, and subscribe. Jesus. And yeah. Let's get on with the video. So today we are recording on my phone, so apologies if the audio is a bit rubbish. Norma! So we are first of all going to the dog park. So this is going to be Norma's first time out at the dog park. We've just bought a extremely long lead, as you can see. A huge lead. It's probably about 30 foot long or something. So it's going to be a chance for her to really get some time out on the grass and run around. We'll still have control of her, so that's going to be great. Hello, Norms. You excited to be going out to the dog park? Yeah? Yeah. Where's Mr. Lenny? Hello team. Hello. Are we all excited to go? Mr. Lenny? Excuse me? We don't jump up, do we? Oh, you're so beautiful, aren't you? And so are you. Don't worry, you're both beautiful. I don't know what the point of that little stroking session was, but just to see that how gentle she is already, and already letting us stroke her, already coming up to us. As you may or may not know from the first video, when we first brought her home, you couldn't even touch her. You could literally just put your hand out, and she'd just run off. Now you can stroke her. You can touch it anywhere. She's really relaxed. I know. You both need attention. I know. So already, she literally is just so relaxed. We'll let you touch her. She trusts both me and my girlfriend. So it's a great start already. But let's get back to the dog park. So we're at our local dog park, as you can see. Mr. Lenny's quite happy. His ball. And Norm is on an extremely long lead. So we're just giving her a bit of room to play because she hasn't really been out too much. We've taken her a few little tiny walks, but Lenny. So yeah, there she is, just on a really long lead so she can just go and explore and have fun. Len, not interested. Rather go to the car. Len, what's this? Footwork. So yeah, looking professional, a little dog treat thing. And as you can see, Norm's is on a super duper long lead, so we've got I think about 15 metre or more lead just to let her have a little wander around. She has been out on a couple of walks which were to varying success, but obviously we're just trying to let her go at her own pace and just work out bits and bobs. Norms, what's this? Come on, team. You can sit, sit. Come on, sit down. Sit down, please. Good boy. And Norms. You want a little treat? Yeah, good girl. There's another one there as well. Little Lenny didn't eat this, did he? Good girl. Come on, Norms, you can have a little wander. Come on. Girl. Oh, what's that? Oh, Len. Come on, you gonna try it? Come on. Good boy. Oh, no. You gonna go up? Come on. Yeah. Good boy. Go, go, go. Go down. Yeah. Lenny. Mommy. So yeah, as I was saying, Norma's first week, we have taken her on a couple of walks, basically just to the end of the road. It was quite overwhelming for the first one, so we go maybe 100 yards just to see how she felt with it, and she was obviously a little bit nervous and obviously quite overwhelming, so we let her do a little bit, and then we just took her back, and we've just been sort of reasonably extending the walks, but again, it's just being very careful that she's comfortable in those walks being extended. So that's why we brought her to the dog park today, so we can have her on extended lead. She just can get used to being out, because as mentioned earlier in the video, she's never actually been on a lead before. She'd never been on a walk before we collected her. She'd never lived in a house before we collected her. So for her, everything is extremely overwhelming. So, you know, a Hoover, a car going past, a person on a bike, a person on a skateboard or whatever it may be, it's completely overwhelming for her. So it's really important we take it nice and slow at her pace, so that's what we've been doing. We have took her out to a coffee shop and sort of had her sat down and just getting used to the sights and sounds of other people and other dogs and stuff. So it's been a good week from that perspective. She has been out and about and getting used to what it's like being a dog and being a pet, I suppose. As you may or may not know from the previous video, she's an ex-breeding dog, so for 5 years, the first 5 years of her life, she was just purely used for breeding. So really sad, but obviously she's hello, good girl. So in my last video, I think we spoke a little bit about her temperament. So her temperament, when we got her, you could go up to her, you could sort of push your back of your hand towards her and she'd either sniff it or run away, but generally she'd at least smell it and then run away. So it's very difficult to get close to her. But now, you know, within this last week, she's pretty much, to some degree, just like any normal dog. So she will allow you to pretty much, you know, touch her feet, touch her head, touch her back, touch her tail. So all the areas that, you know, when you're grooming and all that sort of stuff, you need to be able to touch. So it's really important that she's got used to human touch. So as you can see now, when I go to touch her, really, really docile. She loves being touched and stroked, and she's really relaxed. An amazing change already within a week, and you know, for her that's probably a big deal because she's probably not used to any sort of human touch at all. So she's doing really, really well. Particularly, you know, in 1 week, the difference in her is quite phenomenal, really. So we are absolutely over the moon that she's picking up a new life so quickly, and she's really taken to it, especially a dog that's, you know, 5 years old and, you know, has not had the best start to life. So we're really happy with that. So we've had a quick talk about walking her. We've had a quick talk about allowing her to be stroked. So I'll leave you a few more bits of video of her sort of playing around the dog park and having a little explore, as you can see here. And then I'll talk a little bit more about some of the other, I wouldn't say concerns, but things we need to work on with her that we didn't expect when we got her, but I suppose we should have expected because obviously she's never been in the house before. So I'll leave you some quick videos of them now, and then I'll get on to the sorts of behaviours that we're going to have to improve and work with her to improve. So I'll leave you with some lovely videos now. Quite good on leaving me now. Well, yeah, you can take on those. Come on, Norms. Girl. Girl. Good girl. Come on. Come on. Oh, good girl. So the dog park was semi-successful. Norma was walking, as you could see by some of the clips, but actually she spent quite a lot of time sitting down. Whether she's a bit overwhelmed or she was a little bit ill in the car on the way here, because she doesn't travel that well, as you can imagine. A dog that's never left probably a really small area, and she's lived there for 5 years of her life. Then getting in the car is probably quite, you know, difficult for her. So we'll try again next time. But at least she's been out, she's seen something, she's tried to explore and little bits and bobs. It's a good experience for her. So let's get back to the house. So was trying to get home, but unfortunately hit a pothole and the tyre pretty rapidly sort of exploded. So yeah, bit of a nightmare. No signal, in the middle of nowhere. So yeah, enjoyable. See how it goes. So yeah, you've seen the tyres flat. We've now managed to get some signal, and hopefully the AA should be with us in an hour. Norm's absolutely living her best life, aren't you, Norms? Yep. And of course, Mr. Lenny is, aren't you, Len? Loving life, aren't you? Yep. So yeah, just sat here at Parsonage Lane, living it up. So we're finally back home now after waiting for the AA to come and fix the tyre. Unfortunately, we didn't have a spare. It was a gel kit, so it was impossible to fix because I think the tyre had a complete rip in it. So yeah, unfortunately, we couldn't repair it and get on our way. So after finally getting back home, I thought I'd explain a little bit more about what we've done with her. So I know I was going to talk about some of the sort of issues we've had with her settling in, but first of all, I just wanted to talk a little bit about, obviously, a dog like a Cocker Spaniel needs a lot of walking and will need a lot of walking, but at the moment we're just trying to keep her stimulated because she isn't going out as much. Obviously she can get quite bored, and I suppose that can lead to undesirable behaviours like chewing or scratching or whatever it may be. So obviously we've been trying to keep her entertained by whatever means possible, so we bought a couple of little sort of puzzles for it, as I'll drop in now. Are you ready for treat time, you two? Are you ready?
Getting the treats out then. You get the treats out.
Good girl. So feeding wise, as you can see, she's having it out of a slow feeder bowl. Clearly when she was at the rescue centre, she was having to fight other people for food, so she eats it really, really quickly, and this obviously helps slow her down while she's eating it. We also have to feed her separate to Lenny, because otherwise she'll steal Lenny's food. She'll just go between two bowls and just nick it. So yeah, here she is enjoying her food and from a slow feeder bowl. So yeah, because Norma's obviously not lived in a house, and she probably hasn't had that many humans to interact with, she's really taken a shine to my girlfriend, and that's great. Obviously she tends to follow my girlfriend around. She'll you know, be with her all the time, constantly trying to get strokes and cuddles off her, which is great, or at least it is sometimes. So what we've also noticed is she started sort of guarding against Lenny going near Jade, and it's causing a bit of a problem because Len gets a bit upset when he tries to go to Jade, and she sort of Doesn't growl all the time, but she'll at least lie in front of her, sit in front of her, so Len can't get there. We have heard her growl a couple of times, so this sort of behaviour, after speaking to one of the behavioural experts from the rescue centre, said that it's because Norma thinks her and my girlfriend are in a pack, and me and Len aren't in that pack with them two. So it's just a case of trying to wean her off Jade. So that means, you know, Jade's setting boundaries with her, because at the moment she doesn't have those boundaries. She just thinks that I've got this human and she's my pack and that's it. So we're just all about trying to set boundaries for Norma now, and that'll be better for her in the long run, because she needs to know where she stands and she'll feel comfortable where she knows where she stands within the household. The second problem with her being so attached to Jade is actually when she leaves the house, it causes quite a lot of distress to Norma. And I'll drop in a video now of what I had to deal with for roughly 4 hours on a weekday trying to work. It's okay. It's okay. So as you can see, it's quite a lot of barking, and there was just nothing I could do about it, whether I stroked her, fed her, let her out for a wee, let her out for a run around, took her out on a walk, tried to do anything to take her mind off it. It was very difficult. She just was not having any of it. So as you can imagine, it makes life very difficult when a dog is doing that. It started to upset Len, he started misbehaving, so we're just slowly trying to build her up to the point where, you know, actually today, once we got back from the dog park, Jade nipped out to the shops for about 15-20 minutes. She didn't bark once. So it's just going to take time, and this is the thing, you have to expect some teething issues when you do get a rescue, and you have to be patient, and you have to understand that, you know, she's come from a life of not being in a house, never being on a walk, not knowing how to behave. So yeah, it's just about being patient, but we'll get there with her, which is something that we're willing to give her as much time as she needs to get there. So another thing that we've been asked about a few times actually, about how she's been sleeping. So what's been happening when we go to bed? What have we done? How have we dealt with it? So our current sleeping arrangements with our dog before we got Norma was always that he would sleep in our room in their own bed and would stay there. Now, the advice for Norma was to put her in a crate in our room where she could see us and Len, which we did. But within maybe half an hour, it became quickly apparent that she was not comfortable in the crate. She was really starting to get really distressed. She was scratching at the cage. She was just working herself up. So we ended up letting her out the cage, and she sort of just slept in a bed. Then she came up on top of our bed, then back in her bed. So that's how we've been doing it so far. Again, harping back to when I was talking about her sort of attachment to my girlfriend. She, because of this sort of guarding behaviour and dominance behaviour she's been showing towards Len, it has meant that she does try and get in Len's bed, and Len doesn't like it and wants to get out. So Len's getting mixed signals from her, where she'll follow him round, chase him round and have a good time, but then at certain times she's also very guarding and very dominant, and sort of, you know, will make him do things that he doesn't want to do, i.e. if he grabs hold of a treat and he starts to chew it, she'll sit down next to him, Len will get scared, drop it, and she'll eat it. So we're just trying to work those behaviours out of her, just by, you know, showing her that, no, sorry, that's Len's, Len has that, and Len needs to know that we have control of Norma too. So yeah, so sleeping hasn't been too bad. We're just trying to get her to the point where she's not coming into on top of our bed, and we're going to keep her in her own bed. So it's just a case of every time she gets into our bed, just moving her back to her bed, and she eventually is going to get to understand that her bed's there, Len's bed there, and this is our bed, and that's how it works. One of the final questions we've been asked is, what about training, house training? So as I've mentioned a couple of times in this video already, unfortunately she's never lived in a house, and therefore has never had to be, well, house trained. So luckily we have Len is just about house trained now. He's good, he's really good. He never has accidents. What we tend to be doing is every time Len goes out, she'll just follow him out, and she seems to be getting it. Of course, The weather in the UK at this time of year, in December, has been absolutely terrible. It's rained since we've had her. There's not been one dry day. She's not too bad going out in the weather, but Lem won't go out in the weather, and it's a real issue. So we've just been getting her out every time she goes out with Len, every time she has something to eat. And so far, I think we had one accident, and that was on the day where my girlfriend went to work, and you saw that clip of her barking. I think she was just generally quite overwhelmed that Jade had left the house. And that was the reason why she went in the house. You know, we haven't had an issue since then, and hopefully won't do, but if we do, then so be it. So what is next? Well, I suppose what is next is we need to just get her walking on a lead so she's confident as much as we can. That's just building her up on those walks. Building her up with Jade leaving the house, just a couple of extra minutes each time, and making her feel comfortable and secure, and that she trusts that when Jade leaves the house, she will come back. That is another point. And then we also need to get her trained. So we have been in touch with a couple of places to try and get some professional training, because that's what we need. That's what we did with Lem. We did puppy classes and the Bronze Award. So that's what we'll be doing with Norma. There won't be puppy classes, but there will be classes to make sure that she understands and becomes obedient. So a couple of things. She doesn't know her name. You'll shout Norma and she just doesn't mean anything. You know, the usual sit, wait, those sorts of commands. And if not, just to give her more time to bond with me, to give her more one-on-one time, and to enable her to feel like she's getting the stimulation, but also show she knows her boundaries, she knows what she needs to do and how to behave in the house. So that's it then. That is the first week of having an adopted dog, an ex-breeding dog, and having her in the house. It's been such a successful week. She is so well behaved, she's so placid, she's such a brilliant dog, and we are absolutely in love with her. We are so glad we got her. You know, we were always aware there would be slight teething issues with her coming into the house. You know, it's completely new and it's completely understandable, and we're going to be as patient as we need to be for her, because ultimately she just doesn't know. So we are over the moon, and yeah, we'll let you know how it goes. We'll do some more videos as she gets to be more obedient, and hopefully you can come on the path with us of seeing her become a fully fledged, happy household dog. So that's everything from me. I hope you enjoyed the video. As always, you know, I'm just an idiot talking into a camera. I have no sort of qualifications to be talking about how to look after a rescue dog, other than the fact that I just now have a rescue dog, and we already have our own dog. So, you know, none of this is advice. It's just my opinion and experience. I hope you enjoyed the video. Like I said, please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.